Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 17, 2022. The country's economic growth trajectory continued to climb in the October to December quarter of 2021 with an estimated 6% increase. This represents 3 consecutive quarters of positive outturn for 2021, with the calendar year finishing with overall estimated growth of 4.4%. The Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, released the figures during its media briefing yesterday. Factors contributing to the last quarter's growth include the continued relaxation of COVID-19 containment measures globally, increased operating hours for businesses, higher levels of employment, and improved business and consumer confidence. Both the goods-producing and services industries recorded growth. The high-performing sectors were hotels and restaurants, agriculture, forestry and fishing, other services, and wholesale and retail. PIOJ's Director General, Dr. Wayne Henry, says that with further relaxation of the COVID-19 measures, the recovery or expansion of economic activities in most industries will continue.
Within this context, economic growth is anticipated for the remainder of this fiscal year. For January to March 2022, it is projected that the economy will grow within a range of 5% to 7%, resulting in a fiscal year growth that is April 2021 to March 2022 in the range of 7% to 9%. For fiscal year 2022-23, the projection is for growth within the range of 3% to 6%.
The PIOJ is projecting that the economy will achieve pre-COVID-19 levels of output in the 2023-2024 financial year. Meanwhile, government remains resolute on increasing the number of units available to Jamaicans through the new social housing program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the program will be expanded to provide more houses to Jamaicans in need with the aim of transforming their lives. He was speaking at the official handover ceremony for a 3-bedroom unit in Donmere Close in St. Andrew North Central yesterday. It was constructed at a cost of $6 million.
Once I'm satisfied that we have everything in place from the administration, from the monitoring and accounting, the architecture and engineering, and the financing, then we will start to scale up. Right now, we intend to complete 122 such housing solutions we're going to be building in this phase. But in the next budget, we're going to seek to double that. And as we expand, we will be able to reach far more Jamaicans.
Prime Minister Holness says his appeal for members of the private sector to partner with and support the government through this initiative is bearing fruit.
Already, we have seen a few companies reach out to say, we would like to help, because this is, at the core of it, this is about giving hope to people in despair. It is about saying to people who live in communities like these that you are not forgotten, that you too deserve proper housing, and that the government is allocating out of its budget resources to deal with the worst of the worst situations.
The Prime Minister is reminding recipients of the new housing solutions that occupants must be model citizens in their communities and ambassadors for the Housing Opportunity Production and Employment Hope program. Total capital investment of over $200 million will be spent on improving the island's major international airports over the period 2022 to 2025. Transport Minister Audley Shaw says this investment will come from the Airports Authority of Jamaica, MBJ Airports Limited, and PAC Kingston Airports Limited, which operates the Norman Manley International Airport. $70 million of that amount is slated to be spent in the 2022-2023 financial year. Minister Shaw was addressing a recent contract signing and tour of the Sangster International Airport. Chairman of the Crime Monitoring Oversight Committee, CMOC, Lloyd Distant, is calling on every Jamaican to get in the fight against crime. He was speaking at a recent JIS think tank to outline the CMOC's plans for monitoring the reduction of crime and violence.
I was in a community yesterday, and the JCF's Community Security and Safety Branch turned up. It was pretty large community gathering. They'd been looking to establish a youth club. And there are probably about 200 youths around, and it provided a great opportunity for them to interact with the JCF at that time. Those are the kinds of things, the youth gathering together instead of getting involved in criminality, doing things which are constructive and building an engagement amongst each other.
Mr. Distant says under the social community and cultural transformation pillar of CMOC, the entity wants to see a sustained change in the fabric of society. Executive Director of the CMOC, Lieutenant Colonel Oral Khan, adds that the committee also wants to see the removal of profit from crime.
We are doing some investments in the police which will make it more difficult for criminals, the activities of criminals to escape detection. We are hoping that the citizenry will see what is happening and will come on board with information to speed up the pace at which persons who offend can be detected, caught, and brought before the courts.
And finally, more students are to receive tablet computers courtesy of a donation from members of the Jamaican diaspora in Canada. The donation of 50 tablets is being supported by the High Commissioner in Ontario, Jamaica's Consulate General in Toronto, Food for the Poor Canada, Alliance of Jamaican Alumni Associations, Diaspora Associations across Canada, and Jamaicans and Friends of Jamaica. They were handed over earlier this week to the National Education Trust, which is receiving 30 of the tablets for distribution, while the other 20 have already been allocated to Food for the Poor Jamaica to give needy students. The donation is in support of the Education Ministry's One Laptop or Tablet per Child initiative and was facilitated by the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Over the years, many Jamaicans have benefited individually or as a community from the philanthropic endeavors of the diaspora, including in the field of education. I am pleased that today, thanks to partnership with a number of key stakeholders, including the Jamaican diaspora in Canada, we are able to hand over 50 tablets to this initiative.
We will just continue as long as we can to ensure that these efforts continue and that all our students are equipped with devices, that they have proper connectivity, and that they have access to the educational programs on those devices as they should.
And that's it for JIS News today. Thank you for watching. I'm Theodore Henry.